Authorities just released the 911 call from Demi Moore's home this week. Demi was rushed to the hospital, reportedly due to something related to substances. Listen to this chilling tape.
Yes. Can you please send her, like, as quick as possible?
Yeah. Like right now, this is an emergency.
And what's the other crossroad there?
Sir, this is an emergency. You need to get here as soon as possible.
Ma'am, I'm trying to get the address. You're in Beverly Hills?
Is an ambulance on the way?
Hold on, ma'am. Hold on. Okay, tell me exactly what happened there.
Okay, she smoked something. It's not marijuana, but it's similar to incense, and she seems to be having convulsions of some sort.
Okay, are you with the person at this time?
I'm actually in the other room.
Okay, you gotta be next to her so I can ask some questions, and we have paramedics on the way. Please.
How old is me? 49.
Okay, right now, is she awake?
Yes, well, semi-conscious, barely.
Okay, is she breathing?
Is she breathing? Yes.
Okay, and she overdosed on...
She's convulsing.
Okay, listen to me. Keep watching her closely. Don't do anything. Don't put anything in her mouth.
We're not.
Was this accidental or intentional?
Well, it was. She smoked something, but it was the reaction was accidental.
You mean she didn't intend to have seizures when she smoked a substance? All right, now, remember, it's only been 2 months since she announced she was divorcing from Ashton Kutcher. People are asking, did the breakup precipitate this, or did the substances precipitate the breakup? Here now is a statement from the Demi representatives. Quote, because of the stresses in her life right now, Demi has chosen to seek professional assistance to treat her exhaustion and improve her overall health. She looks forward to getting well and is grateful for the support of her family and friends. I'm sorry, but now with the advent of that 911 tape, that quote is that statement is even more unsatisfying. Joining me tonight, Anna David is the executive editor of TheFix.com. She is also a recovering addict and is going to help me out with some of the addiction issues. Dylan Howard is the senior executive editor of RadarOnline.com. Let's start with you, Dylan. What do you know?
Well, Demi Moore has returned home, and her soon-to-be ex-husband, Ashton Kutcher, has reportedly gone to her bedside. That statement said she was seeking professional assistance. It's silent on whether indeed she's still taking professional assistance and whether she's going to check into rehab. That tape, though, the release of that tape today is very scary by its nature. One thing that we didn't hear there are certain medical and drugs that were mentioned. In fact, they were redacted due to federal medical law. So we don't actually know. There was a particular mention at one point in there that was redacted by the authorities about another drug that she may have been using. In fact, the person on the other end of the phone, whom we don't know, goes on to say that she's been doing things for a period of time, for a period of days. What was that substance? There's suggestions it could be salvia. There's also suggestions it could be K2 or spice. Now, you probably know a little bit more about that. Yeah. A legal form of substance, apparently.
Well, it's available in head shops. Anna, you've seen people that do this, and we see it all the time now. K2 spice. It's mostly in my world is when people that smoke a lot of pot get caught at work. They want to get around the urine toxicology. They switch over to spice or to K2. But I have seen a number of seizures from both spice and K2 and weird neurological symptoms from it.
Adding to that, she was seemingly anorexic, according to people close to her, almost under 100 pounds, say family insiders, not eating, using these nitrous oxide whippets.
Oh, you've had that confirmed now,
Had
too?
that confirmed, although Demi's camp is silent on the allegation. And there's also other uses of substances, such as booze, that she's been using for some time. All in all, a potentially lethal cocktail.
Oh, absolutely. And I heard Adderall, that she was getting a prescription.
Yeah, we spoke to a family insider who said that she was using Adderall as well.
Okay, that's the part that kills me, that a physician would give somebody who's actively using substances a psychostimulant like Adderall. Let's look at another clip from the 911 call. There are a lot of people at home frantically trying to help Demi. Listen, Demi, rather.
She's bringing up, do you suggest that we just keep putting cold water on her?
No, this is what I want you to do. Are you next to her right now?
Yes.
Okay. Is she able to respond to you?
To me, can you hear me? Yes, she's squeezing hands. There's no, she can't speak.
Okay. If she's not completely passed down, this is what I want you to do. Don't give her anything to eat or drink. Okay, have her rest in a position of comfort. Wait for the paramedic.
Yep, but she's convulsing, so we're holding her down.
Yeah, you don't have to hold her down. You don't have to. Don't put anything on her mouth. Don't hold her down. Don't do CPR.
Dylan, you just said something about the daughter being present during this?
Rumor Willis, her teenage daughter, or in fact older than teenage, was actually at the house at the time. So Demi was using these substances while her daughter, and based on that call, a number of other people were at the home too in Beverly Hills.
Let's try to hear if Rumor Willis was in the room during this 911 call. Listen to this.
Hey, Ru. what's the name at the gate, and so that we can buzz them in from here.
And you said you have somebody at the gate, right?
That's what they said. Are those the lights coming up from the thing? It looks like they're right here. Will you run out and get them, babe?
Anna, we've seen people do this kind of thing. It's not that uncommon these days.
No, I mean, I think it's really sad. I think it's the most positive thing I've heard is that she dropped out of the movie, that she was planning to do the Linda Lovelace movie. And, you know, I think the smartest...
that seems to be a jinxed role, does it not?
Well, regardless, I mean, what I heard, you know, we've heard she dropped out. And
Yeah.
the smartest thing I think anybody could do in this situation is to go seek treatment.
Well, I'll tell you what, the fact that she's gone home, this is the first I'm hearing it from you, Dylan, it disturbs me immensely. That is, frankly, I wouldn't say the last place, but that's one of the last places somebody in her condition should go.
She could still be going away to treatment, though.
She could be. But if it were my patient, they would go directly, do not pass go, because the environment where she was using, you return to that environment, you're going to do something like that again.
You know, everyone's suggesting that the breakup with Ashton Kutcher predicated this issue. In addition to that, she had a lifetime sober coach, someone who she previously described as her, quote, mum, who passed away some months ago. So there's a significant amount of emotional turmoil in her life.
I'm going to tell you what, and I don't know how you feel about that, that's more significant than Ashton, in my opinion.
Well, I think once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Yes, of course your circumstances can cause you to relapse, but
listen,
if you are not getting treatment...
No, but I think she's talking, I think what he's saying is that's code for, and I'm not a recovering guy, so I can interpret 12-step code.
Sponsor.
Her longtime sponsor died.
Potentially.
And that's what I'm hearing, and that is devastating.
In fact, there were photos of her at the funeral leaving, bending over. She was overcome with a significant amount of grief.
I'm going to tell you what, this really gives me almost chills that might be what we're looking at here. The Ashton thing, who knows, maybe she relapsed because of the death of the sponsor, and maybe that precipitated the marriage loss, and down she went.
Potentially, but I wouldn't want to give, I mean, I don't mean to sound callous, but people's sponsors do leave, they do die.
You're right,
and you find a new one,
you're right.
move on.
But I think it also raises the question about what other network of support she did have, and she had a husband who all of a sudden was gone, and a husband who this week we saw in Brazil partying at the time when she fell into this state.
Anna?
Men and women process things differently, you know.
Wow, what a kind thing to say. I think that's awful of him. I think that shows that he really either has had enough, she burned him out, or she, like Dylan said, the kind of people that she should have that really care about her art around her. And by the way, here she's a great woman. Everyone loves her. By you hearing this?
Oh, she's much loved in Hollywood.
Yeah, by everybody.
But I mean, I wouldn't expect. I wouldn't expect any different. I think that men and women process things differently.
Thanks very much.
It's not terribly uncommon for a man to not be as aware of the the emotional repercussions of the dissolution of a relationship.
At the same time, Ashton has hired a lawyer to protect his reputation at this time.
Oh, it's sad. The whole thing
high-powered Hollywood lawyer.
The more I learn and hear about this case, the sadder it becomes. I mean, my heart goes out to this family. Now, thank you.